Hi, I'm Aaron from bikesale.com, and I'm here to talk to you about the all-new 2013 Pivot Mach 429 Carbon. This is a super exciting new bike. It has all the features that people want in new mountain bike frames and an excellent, excellent suspension design. It's DW Link suspension, which was designed by a man named Dave Weigel, who actually worked very closely with Pivot and with Fox Suspension when they were developing this frame. So all the leverage rates on this frame and the tune of the shock are all specifically for this chassis. One of the main characteristics of the DW Link suspension is how well it pedals. This is because it has a slightly rearward axle path to begin with. So when you're pedaling really hard, you're actually pulling against the rear end and against the travel and effectively locking the bike out under pedaling loads. It's not until you hit something a little bit bigger that it's going to transition to an upward wheel path and start to absorb bigger bumps. That said, it's a very, very light suspension tune from Fox. So when you hit smaller bumps, that rearward axle travel actually slides the whole bike over things, and you maintain a lot more momentum than you do with wheels that start, or suspension designs that start off with upward wheel movement. It's an incredibly stiff frame, which Pivot knows increases suspension performance because the forces going into the wheels are going into the suspension instead of into twisting the frame. So Pivot has a lot of features on this that are designed to boost the stiffness. Up front, you have a tapered head tube that goes from 1 1/8 inches up top to 1.5 inches in the bottom, and all the frames are matched with a Fox fork that's also a tapered steer tube on it. At the bottom end of the frame, we have this very, very short lower link with double row cartridge bearings so that it's very stiff and smooth and easy to maintain. And this is actually a sandwich style link where this lower rocker is actually wider than the seat tube. That's again just to boost the stiffness as high as they can possibly get it. You have a BB92 press fit bottom bracket, which is the widest and stiffest bottom bracket standard that you'll find on mountain bikes right now, as well as an enclosed rear end right here where this is all one piece to keep it as stiff as possible. You have a little bit of armor on the underside of the down tube right here. It's not really to protect the carbon because the carbon is really very, very strong on its own. It's really just to keep everything quiet. When rocks are striking it and things like that, you know, it makes less of a loud clunk sound. You also have that same armor on the chainstay to keep chain slap very quiet. It has routing for a dropper post. It's external routing, so you don't have to cut any cables when you're setting up the dropper. It's also external for the brake housing, again, so you don't have to cut any of them, but it's internal for the shift, which is really nice because it keeps the cables out of harm's way, and it also makes it very hard for dirt to work its way in there. Really, you know, the bottom line on this bike is that it's way more fun than a 29er should be. And we're all really, really excited about it at bikesale.com. So if you have any other questions, you can give us a call or just visit us at our website.